Woof. So guys, sorry for on the YouTube. I just lost my phone here. Good, perfect. Okay, so now, thank you very much for joining, guys. Today's topic will be about obtaining a Czech citizenship. So for those of you who might be interested in that, this next like 15 minutes or so will be only about this topic, obtaining a Czech citizenship. So first of all, there are three ways, there are a couple ways of obtaining a Czech citizenship. First way can be through your ancestors. If your ancestors were Czech or Czechoslovak, then you could obtain your citizenship based on this fact. Number two would be if you are so important that the Czech Republic decided to give you the citizenship. So that would be number two. And number three, which I'll be mostly talking about today, is citizenship, obtaining citizenship after long enough time living in the Czech Republic and being integrated in the society. Because the previous two, they have complicated rules, and I don't know much about that. And that's one thing. The second one, where the Czech Republic decides about your application just because you're important to the Czech Republic, I don't think that applies to most of the people. So the one we have experience with here in Move to Prague, that's the one being obtained after long enough of being in the Czech Republic legally. So I'll go through that. Maybe I received a message, a question from Nitsa or Nika. She told me that she will not be able to make the stream today, but she asked some questions. So basically, she asked about the advantages and disadvantages of Czech citizenship. As for the advantages, obviously, if you want to live in the Czech Republic, once you get a Czech citizenship, you will not need to care about any visas or residence permits or anything like that. You will also have a Czech passport, which means that you can live and move freely within the whole Europe and Schengen area. And third, Czech passport is pretty strong in terms of like how many countries we can travel to without a visa, and how easy is it for us to get a visa. So those are great advantages. Second, she asked that she heard some rumors about that you have to pay health insurance even if you move out of the Czech Republic. Well, I don't see this I don't see this as a disadvantage. Like, if you're a Czech citizen, you just need to follow all the rules and all the laws. So I don't see it as a disadvantage, just something that is just there. But maybe one disadvantage would be that not all the countries allow you to have two citizenships. Czech Republic allows that. So as long as your country of origin allows that as well, you can have both your original nationality and Czech one. That's fine. Czech Republic allows that. But some countries don't. So that might be a disadvantage, that you would need to give up your citizenship to get the Czech one. So, but besides that, I only see the positive sides. And especially if you plan on living here, and if you've been living here for that long that you already qualify for citizenship, then I only see advantages. So let's go now through the requirements and documents needed for the citizenship. I will be reading that, guys. Sorry for that, because there are so many documents and so many rules that I don't keep it all in my head. So I'll be reading it, but I'll be talking about the experience we had with that as well. So first thing is that if you want to get a Czech citizenship, you need to be integrated into the society very well from perspectives of like your family life, your social life, and your work life. That means that if you're living here alone, you always stay in your flat, you don't go you don't meet any people, and that you work online, for example, and you pay your taxes outside of the Czech Republic, very likely you will not get the citizenship. But if you have a family here, you have a wife or husband and kids, and you have plenty of friends here, and you're active, you're maybe part of some groups, or you play some sports or stuff like that, then you're definitely more integrated into the society and you have higher chances of obtaining the Czech citizenship. So that's like the first prerequisite. You need to be integrated. Then you also need to, all these conditions go together. So you need to fulfill all of them. So the next one is that you don't threat, maybe the Czech Republic and its rights, and like I don't know exactly what it means. Maybe like if that you're not a spying on the Czech Republic. So if you were, I don't know, I've never seen anyone having problems with that. But you cannot be obviously somehow against the Czech Republic if you want to get Czech Republic's citizenship. Maybe one thing I should mention, I didn't mention it in the beginning, but there is nothing like obtaining a citizenship through investment or stuff like that. I know that some countries offer this, that you just buy a property in some amount of money, or I don't know, you do some other things, or you just pay some money to the government and they give you the passport and the citizenship. Nothing like that exists in the Czech Republic. So you really need to justify why you want to live here and that you meet all the requirements. So the Czech Republic very much cares about who gets their citizenship. Okay, so those were the two first conditions. First, you need to be integrated into the Czech society. Second, you cannot be a threat to the Czech Republic. And third, you need to meet plenty of conditions. So the conditions, first, you need to have a permanent residence permit in the Czech Republic. You just must have a permanent residence permit. And then it depends. If you're a non-EU citizen, you need to have the permanent residence permit for 5 years. If you're an EU citizen, you need to have the permanent residency for at least 3 years. Or you can have the permanent residency for whatever long you want, but you need to be living in the Czech Republic constantly without any breaks for at least 10 years. So either 5 years of permanent residency as a non-EU citizen, 3 years of permanent residency as an EU citizen, or 10 years in total, and you need to have the permanent residency at the moment when you're applying for the citizenship. So there are some exceptions when you don't have to meet these conditions, but they are very rare. Like if you were born here, you're a small kid, and for your kids, you can apply without them staying here for 5 years. If you're applying already and you have a newborn, you could apply for the citizenship right away. Or if one of your parents was, that would be through the ancestors, if one of your parents was Czech or Czechoslovak and you can prove it, then there are some exceptions like that. But in general, for most people, it's as I explained. Then another condition is that you need to be staying in the Czech Republic for at least half of the time. So it doesn't work the way that you have the permanent residency, but you live like the whole time somewhere outside of the Czech Republic and you still want to get a Czech citizenship. One of the documents we'll get to the exact documents at the end, but one of the documents you need to present is a list of all your trips abroad outside of the Czech Republic, so the ministry can check if you really have been living here or not. That's another thing. You can stay outside of the Czech Republic for up to 2 months in a row, and that will still be counted, or 6 months in a row if there is a serious reason, like you need to go give birth to your home country, or you get sick, so you go back to your family outside of the Czech Republic, stuff like that. But in general, 2 months, anytime you can travel for up to 2 months, or 6 months if there is a serious reason. Okay, then of course you cannot have any criminal, or you cannot have any record in the criminal register. That's kind of obvious. Then another requirement is that you pass a Czech language exam for the Czech citizenship. There is a special exam. Again, there are some exceptions. For example, if you studied a Czech school, a primary school, secondary school, university, and you studied in Czech, then you don't have to pass this exam because you, for example, have the maturitní vysvědčení, the leaving exam from the high school, or leaving exam from the primary school, or the diploma from the university. So if the program was in Czech, you don't have to prove that. Or if you're below 15, kids below 15 don't have to do that, and elderly people above 65 also don't need to prove the Czech language skills. Or of course, if you're disabled or you cannot speak at all, you're not deaf, I don't know how you call this, if you're not deaf but you cannot speak, then obviously you don't have to pass the exam either, but besides that you always have to do that. Okay, then you also need to pass another exam which is about the Czech Republic in general. Mainly it's about the constitution and about the law and the basic like knowledge of the human rights. we have here in the Czech Republic, and then also something about the history and government. So there is a special test for that as well, and you need to pass that too. Okay, then you need to prove you cannot have any debts against the government. So for example, if you're a self-employed person, you cannot have any debts in the social security, healthcare, income tax. So you will be proven that, I'll get to it later, but you will be proven that by proofs of no debts. So it's important that you don't have any debts anywhere, like not only these big authorities, but even like smaller ones, like in a town hall or places like that. Okay. Then you need to prove your income, but that's kind of interesting. And if you have the chance, I recommend doing that, because that's different than all the other types of residence permits, like a permanent or long-term. With those, you always need to prove how high is your income, and that it meets some requirements, like of the minimum income requirements. But for the citizenship, you just need to prove that you have income and that you pay taxes from that income in the Czech Republic, but you don't have to prove how high the income is, which is kind of strange and good at the same time. But you need to prove the income. Of course, if you're self-employed, you need to prove it for the last 3 years. So if you're self-employed, you provide the 3 last tax returns. If you're an employee, you need to provide employment contracts for the whole period of time of 3 years. And for some reason, yeah, I'm back on Facebook. Good. So that's basically it. There are always some exceptions where not for all the points. Some of the points are really mandatory. For some of them, there are some exceptions that mainly if you're like disabled or like some very important and serious reasons like this, you don't have to meet the requirement, but most of them are mandatory. So basically, that was the general prerequisites, let's say, to obtain the Czech citizenship. Then now let's go through the documents, maybe now through the process, how and where to obtain the citizenship, and then we'll go through the documents you need. So first now, how to obtain a citizenship after living here for long enough. So first thing is that you need to collect all the required documents, which we'll go through in a second. Then you need to take these documents to your local, it's actually Krajský úřad, which is like the authority responsible for the area where you live. So if you live in, I don't know, Středočeský kraj in the central Bohemia, you need to go to the authority responsible for the whole central Bohemia. In Prague, you can do it in the town halls of each of the city like parts. So if you live in Prague 1, you go to the city hall in Prague 1. If you live in Prague 2, you go to the city hall in Prague 2, and like this. But for other parts of the Czech Republic, you always go to the Krajský úřad, so to the regional authority, not to the local one. And then they will check all the documents. You will submit the documents. So they will keep the documents for up to 30 days because they also need to check you in their system if you don't have any debts there. And those can be things like if you haven't paid for your dog, for example, or you haven't paid for the waste collection, stuff like that. So they will be checking all this, and then they create some recommendation for the Ministry of the Interior and send the whole application to the Ministry of the Interior, and then the decision is made there. And then the ministry officially has 180 days to make the decision about the Czech citizenship. But as you know from your previous experience, it can often take way longer. For the citizenship, I would expect like 1 year, the least, and can take up to like 1.5, 2 years. Unfortunately, you cannot do much because there is no legal right to get the citizenship. It's up to the Czech Republic, so you cannot really speed it up. You just need to wait. Okay, so now let's go, or maybe when you're approved, we'll go through the documents you need, like the exact documents in a second, but maybe once you're approved, you will also need to go back to the local authority. You will need to swear that you will be a good citizen. There is a special line for that. And then you will receive a certificate of obtaining the Czech citizenship. And then you need to get all the IDs like občanka, the Czech ID, or passport, and you need to get registered everywhere as a Czech citizen. I am seeing that I have some questions there from 2 people already. I will answer those questions at the end, so stay with me. And let's go now through the documents you need to obtain a Czech citizenship. So first document is when you go to the authority, you will need to fill in a questionnaire where they ask you about yourself, your parents, your family, your family's parents, all this, your incomes, kind of basic questionnaire. Then you also need to submit a request for the citizenship. So those are 2 different documents. And then you need to submit your birth certificate. So from the country of your origin, if obviously you were born outside of the Czech Republic, then you need to get it apostilled, super legalized, all the official things you need to do with the documents when you want to use them in the Czech Republic. You need to translate it officially into Czech. Then, if you were married, then you need to submit the marriage certificate as well. The same rules apply. For example, if you're not married in the Czech Republic, but somewhere outside, you need to get it apostilled, super legalized, translated, all this. If you also manage to get divorced, you need to submit this document as well, confirmation of the divorce. Of course, if your partner died, for example, you're a widow or widower, then you need to submit these documents too. If you have any kids, then it's good to submit their birth certificates as well, because then it can show if they're Czech citizens that you're integrated more into the society, as I was talking about it in the beginning. Then you need to get a criminal check from the Czech Republic, so that's easy. Then you need to also have kind of like your CV, but it's not like the structured CV which you send to like job applications. It is like a free form where you described kind of why you are applying for the citizenship and what you've been doing in the Czech Republic the whole time. Like, I arrived in 2001 and I studied. I met plenty of friends. I became part of this group, whatever. And then I found a job and I've been paying taxes the whole time. And I met my wife and we got married and all this, like kind of like the reasons why they should give you the citizenship, why or how you are integrated into the society. But it's a free form. There is no like template for that. Then you need to submit the test from the Czech language and the test of the history and government of the Czech Republic, which I was talking about that in like previously. Then you need to submit, because I was talking about it previously as well, that you need to prove that you've been living here for at least half of the time. So you need to submit like a list of all your stays abroad and in the Czech Republic. So that's kind of funny, because every time we do it with our clients, they like remember, okay, we were on a holiday here, and they try to remember, they look for everything in their emails, all the flight tickets, all this. So it's kind of funny, but you need to list all the travels you had outside of the Czech Republic. Then you need to have proofs of no debts from all the authorities. So from Social Security, healthcare, income tax, customs. Then you also need to have confirmation that you haven't been using the support system of the Czech Republic, let's say, too much. For example, unemployment support or stuff like that, that you like haven't been misusing it or abusing it, maybe, that you only used it reasonably, let's say. Then you need to prove your income. I was explaining it before. So if you need to prove the income for the last 3 years. So if you're self-employed, then you need to submit the last 3 tax returns. If you're an employee, then you need to submit your employment contracts for the last 3 years. That's about it, I believe. That's about it. Of course, if you studied here, then you also need, or you can submit either the diploma or some confirmation that you studied, because it can give you some extra benefits. Either the benefit that you don't have to pass the Czech language exam, for example, or the benefit that it will show that you're more integrated, that you like studied at the Czech university, maybe you work there now or still have some friends, or you're in some groups like alumni or whatever. So this could be helpful as well. That's basically it, I believe. So those were the main main things. So I will go to the questions now. So let's see. What do we have here? How about if you have a certificate of B2 level in Czech from UJOP? That's a good question because you can replace the certificate with another, but let me check what it says exactly. You can either have this special test of Czech language for the Czech citizenship, or you can replace it with your maturitní zkouška. So that's your high school leaving exam. Yeah, if you're studying a language school, Czech language school, and you graduated from there, so that certificate as well. Of course, the same for the university exams. And yeah, so you could, if you have a B1 level certificate of Czech language, you can use that if it was certified by Association of Language Testing Institutions in Europe. And so basically, if the school is part of this organization and they issue the certificate that you passed at least B1 level, then you can use it. But if the school wasn't part of this association, you will need to go through the special test, which is organized by a special department of the Charles University. Grafton. Hi, Grafton. Nice to see you, man. You're getting there slowly, right? How do they know that you have a dog? Well, it depends. First of all, you should always report it. When you get a dog, you should always go to your authority, like the local town hall, and you should report the dog, and you should start paying the fees for the dog, because you see that all around the city you have the bags for the poops and all this, so that needs to be paid from something, and that's paid from this fee for the dog. So you should first report it yourself. But if you haven't done that, yeah, they either don't find out, or someone can maybe report you. But you should also have your dog chipped. So I believe that maybe the doctor, the vet, could also report it. But yeah, I don't know, honestly, if you don't report the dog, if they can find out. I don't know. But you should officially report having a dog to the local authority and start paying the fees. I know, like 2 years off, I think, but thanks for the info. Always enjoy your content. Thank you very much, Grafton. I'm happy that you joined. And for those of you who don't know, Grafton has been with us for since forever. And you're really well integrated into the Czech society, I believe. So in 2 years, I don't think you should have any problem getting the citizenship. Obviously, things can happen, things can change, but let's hope it will not be for the worse. Thank you. It's my winter coat. Now I'm just lazy to shave it. Camelia, thank you. UJOP is Charles. Yeah, I just realized, because it's Ústav jazykové odborné přípravy, so that's it. So that's correct. That should be okay. Yeah, okay. So this was the official part, guys. If you have any more questions, ideally about the Czech citizenship or about any other questions related to Czech immigration or my beard or something, please feel free to ask. I'll be staying for a couple more minutes. And then if you will not have any questions, I'll just finish the stream. Hope to see you guys soon. Holiday party. Take care, Onzo. Thank you, Grafton. We are still deciding if we'll have the Christmas party this year. We would love to. Because it's always amazing. But we'll see, because with all the restrictions now, the government changing, we'll see. But if we'll be able to have it, we'll be having it, and you'll be definitely invited. So everyone actually who's watching will be invited. But Grafton, you always will have a special place in our heart. So we'll let you know if there is a party, and we'll be happy to see you there. Okay, guys, for those of you who are still watching, there is a space for your questions, either related to the citizenship or to anything else. See you, Grafton. Bye. And yeah, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll be finishing the live stream in couple minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So Mayank, if you have any questions, please write them down quickly. And if you follow me, you know that I usually do the awkward dance at the end when I'm waiting for your questions. So either if you don't like me dancing, which I understand, then you can leave now. There is no official content coming. Or if you have a question and you want to stop me from doing this, then ask a question. I'll be happy to answer it. So let's see. Maybe guys, Daria, thank you very much for joining. Yeah, maybe one more thing. Of course, you can follow me. I'll be happy if you join my group on Facebook, the Expats in CZE Help and Support Group. If you follow me on YouTube, if you follow me on TikTok, if you follow me everywhere, I'll be happy about that. Instagram as well. I'm pretty bad on Instagram, so I'll be happy if you join me there. And of course, if you like Move to Prague and the stuff we do, then definitely we have, as a Move to Prague, we have all the social media as well. So we have TikTok as well, Instagram, which is doing pretty well, YouTube channel too. So I'll be happy if you join us everywhere. So guys, if you want one last, let's say 10 last seconds for any questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. If not, I'll be finishing the stream shortly. All right, it doesn't seem that any questions are coming. So thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure to deliver some content and some information to you, and see you next time.